if you're anything like me, you want to accomplish big goals in 2023, and this goal planner will help you do just that. So let's look at what the goal planner in Notion will look like. Up here you can see that the template will start with the 2023 goals, divided into 6 categories, and then it follows with a monthly overview. For example, we'll go into January. You then have a list of goals you want to accomplish, ordered by category and goal, and then you can also look at the progress, the week you want to complete it in, and the current state. You can also switch between the board view and a table view, and of course you can filter by week so that you know each week what you have to do. And lastly, you can also look at it from a calendar view, so if you want to know what you have to do, particularly today, you can do so as well. So let's get started right away. The first thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to create a new page. We're going to click on empty with icon, and we're going to call it Goals 2023. As usual, we go to the 3 dots at the top right corner, we change the font to serif, and switch to full width. The next thing we're going to do is, as you know, from, where was it? This one? We have these 6 categories. I divided them into health, financial, career, spiritual, education, and relationship. I feel like these are the 6 facets of life that help me the most, but of course you can change them however you want. I'm going to copy and paste whatever's standing here, and we're going to move on. What you're going to do is you're going to enter a slash, and then we're going to do an inline equation. I'm going to copy and paste it, but you can also pause the video to see what I did here. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to change the font to a bold font in the size small with the color followed by this hash code. Now you can change this code to anything else you want, and with that you can change the color. Do that, and we're going to repeat this process for all the categories of goals you want to have in your goal planner. Once you've finished that, we're just going to drag and drop them in the order we want to have them. It's going to be health, followed by financial, and then career, and then we repeat this process. Next, we're going to add the bullet points. So we just write bullet for a bulleted list, and then you, of course, will have to fill out whatever you want. If you haven't entered anything, this is what your result should look like. The next part is going to be this monthly overview. You have this small picture which you can replace with anything you want, and then we have the months and the title of this part of the page, which is going to read monthly overview. With \heading 2, we're going to write monthly overview, and then we're going to add a page. You do that by \, and then clicking on page, and then you have the second page, which is, or a linked page, which is in our case going to be January, as it is the first pages. We're going to again select serif and full width, and select empty page with icon. From this page you can see that I added a nice quote, and we're going to do that as well. I'm going to copy the quote, and here we're going to add \grey background for this. I'm going to then use the shortcut for emojis on Windows. You can do that by pressing the Windows button and the period sign. And then I'm going to look for the sunflower because it's my favorite emoji. And then I'm going to copy the quote. Of course, you can use your own quote, which you find way more inspirational than mine. And for aesthetics, I'm going to add a divider after the quote. The next thing we're going to do is create a database. This is the most essential part or the core of this goal planner. Database, and then select database inline. It's going to look like this. This is going to be our table view. We're going to call it Goals in January, and then we're going to add a couple more views. We're going to add a board view, just like this, which we are going to call board. We're going to also add a calendar view, which we call calendar. And the weekly views we're going to add later because it just makes more sense. Now we need to modify our database so that we can add the specific types of attributes we want. I'm going to first change name into goal. It's going to be the main tab which says what you want to accomplish. Next we're going to change this property name to state. Just like that. And we're going to add the options done, doing, and the last one to do. Of course we have to change the colors because this is not right. Done should be green, doing should be yellow, and red should be to do. And this indicates to you how far you are in your progress. And then we're going to switch to board view, and as you can see, doing, done, and to do are shown. I'm just going to change the order here. No, it's not right. This. And this way, if you add something to do, for example here, you can then drag it to doing and then done once you've completed the task. I'm going to delete this. And we're going to continue. The date I'm going to change to due date, which is a feature where you can describe precisely when you want this goal to be completed by. Next thing we're going to add is a select property, and we're going to call this category. And here we are going to be able to match the goal to one of the categories we defined here. So in my case, it will include the ones like health and so on and so forth. And you can click on edit property, and we're going to add all the different types of categories and then give them a color that matches as well. These are the categories that I now have finished and matched a color to. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a category that is multi-select, and we're going to call it week. And here you can assign a week where you want to complete or work on this goal. As you can see, I've done that, and next we're going to something that's going to be a little counterintuitive. We're going to add a property that is a checkbox, and we're going to call it specific. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on hide in view. And what specific will do, it will allow you to have goals within the week view, so when you view your goals weekly, that do not appear in the goals in January part, so in this overview. So again, click on hide in view, and we're going to do the same for due date. Hide in view. We're going to click on filter, on specific, and then is unchecked. We're going to add a new view, which is also a table view. We're going to call it week 1. And in week 1, we're going to filter by, week, and we're going to click on week 1. That way only the tasks which are assigned to week 1 will be displayed here. Let's switch back to table view, and we're going to add our last property, which is going to be a number property, and we're going to call it progress. We're going to select the bar and then add or switch to a color that you like. What's going to happen here is when you enter something, progress, you will now see that you're 30% of the way there. So you've completed 30% of your task. Now you're just going to order the different categories in the order you want them to be displayed. So I like to have category in front. I'm going to reduce state and progress. I'm going to switch state to the back, and so on and so forth. Now what you're going to do is just decorate this page however you want. I'm going to add a cover, I'm going to switch this icon, and I'm going to add some touches of color. In my case, this is what the finished product will look like. Of course, you're going to have to add a few goals for it to look really good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add all the other months to our monthly overview. Now this would take some time to do manually, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a hack by adding a slash and then writing template button, and we're going to select or call it add a new month, and we're going to delete the to do part here, and we're going to drag in our month January. And what this does is by clicking on this button add a new month, a copy will be added. As you can see now, the month January was added, and we're going to repeat this process for all months. Once you have done that, we're going to delete the template button. What we're going to do next is we're going to order them in a way that's more aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to drag July next to January because I want them to be displayed in 2 columns. And then I'm just going to add February underneath January and continue that until June, and then repeat the process for July until December. Just like that, we have our monthly overview as well. The last step for here is also to add some aesthetics and of course to fill out your goals for 2023. In the end, it should look something like this. Of course, you might have chosen a very different color scheme than me. And once you switch into January, this is what it should look like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you crush 2023.